Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now November 30th of 2021, and we're only getting very much closer to the official release of the Book of Boba Fett, as well as the announcements of new Star Wars TV shows and movies that will come our way at Star Wars Celebration of 2022 in May of next year. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things on there from time to time and interact with you guys further. So what's even all the more exciting right now is the fact that, yes, we are getting the marketing for the Book of Boba Fett. We're seeing a lot of new TV spots popping up, new posters, new interviews coming out about the Book of Boba Fett, the 7-episode series that's going to take place, of course, in multiple different points in time, where we're going to learn more about Boba Fett and, of course, his enemies that he tries to hunt down and more, and a lot of surprise cameos coming our way in the actual Boba Fett series. So the thing about Disney Plus is that what Disney is aiming to do for the next couple of years is that they want to eventually have multiple Star Wars TV shows releasing consistently every couple of months for the next couple of years. That's what they want to do in order to really create a consistent stream of successful Star Wars content, right? So next year, technically we do have the Book of Boba Fett because the first episode does not air until December 29th. It's going to run all the way through until pretty much the end of the first quarter of 2022. So then after that, we got the Kenobi series, we got the Bad Batch Season 2, Mando Season 3, and Star Wars Andor. Next year is going to be big, probably the biggest year for Star Wars under Disney's wing. And as long as they really play their cards right, I think that things are really going to go in the right direction as long as all of these Star Wars TV shows consistently are well received by the fans, where it gets great feedback and a lot of fans are just welcoming everything by Disney and Lucasfilm. So with that being said, what's really intriguing has something to do with Daisy Ridley. Now, given that both Disney and Lucasfilm are primarily focused on beginning to film the Ahsoka Tano series by early next year, both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are also beginning to work on other unannounced Star Wars TV shows for Disney Plus that will be revealed at Star Wars Celebration. Now, however, in a recent interview with actress Daisy Ridley, she was questioned about what was actually set to happen for Episode 9 before all the reshoots and rewrites that took place back in 2019, where she eventually got on the subject of Hayden Christensen. Daisy Ridley went on to reveal that what I thought was quite upsetting, even to me as an actress, was the plans that they had with Hayden for his role as Anakin Skywalker. I remember speaking with JJ about this ongoing issue where they had all these crazy scenes written for him as Anakin Skywalker. He even partially shot some scenes as a Force ghost of himself, which I never got to see since I was in my trailer for a couple of days taking a break going over my lines for the final scenes. What I couldn't get past was how they abruptly canceled all of his scenes and appearances that were planned for Episode 9, and I'm sure it was not just JJ's call. This came from the up and up. Both Kathleen Kennedy and Disney higher-ups at the time eventually had second thoughts about Hayden coming back as Anakin, and felt that maybe it was too soon for something like that to happen. So what they did was they took tidbits of audio from the scenes he had shot separately that were planned for me to work with as Rey, meeting Anakin in one of the scenes and transferring that audio over to the big finale where Rey gets her boost up from the Force ghosts. Now, additionally, Daisy Ridley went on to unveil that, I met Hayden and he is such an incredible and sweet guy. I'm actually very happy for him landing the role as Vader and Anakin again in these new spin-off projects. But it always never surprised me as to what they did with Hayden and what they did with other characters. I mean, look at me, right? I was supposed to have an all-out saber duel with Palpatine with Ben Solo by my side that I shot with Adam, and it was just such a mess. I guess you can say that this is why the trailer was delayed for the film, for holiday of 2018 all the way until Celebration. They just didn't know what to do with Hayden, they just didn't know what to do with Palpatine as a new villain, they didn't know what to do with me or Adam and others, and how the whole story was going to end. The climax kept on changing every 2 weeks, either with minor or significant changes that really altered our lines of dialogue. But nonetheless, I cannot lie, I did have a fun time and a fantastic time filming with both John and Oscar, as well as Adam. You know, it's one thing, however, to delete such scenes from a film, it's another thing to do it at last minute. I remember George Lucas on the set during our scenes for Exegol, and he always kept saying that something was missing, something was out of place from the final fight between myself and the Emperor. I have to agree, I felt the same way too, oddly. No, I don't really know why. Now, the thing about Daisy Ridley, I feel the reason as to why she really does have a lot of reasons to kind of be a little bit more forward, a little bit more open about her experience on the sets of the sequel trilogy, especially the finale, is because, well, it seems as though that she doesn't really care anymore. She doesn't really care about her thoughts or what kind of consequences are going to come her way. She already knows that she's not going to be heavily invested in Star Wars, at least for quite a while. So she's taking a break at the very minimum, and she's kind of just talking more about her events during the sequel trilogy era. I want to get back to Hayden here, because this is a prime example that at the time, Disney and Kathleen Kennedy had no idea what they were doing with what the fans actually wanted to see. It seems like that they almost had an idea of what the fans wanted, then they got rid of it and kind of minimized it to something very much of a tease. Obviously, a lot of fans wanted something more than just the Force Ghost voices. I'm sorry. There's a lot of fan edits out there that did a superior job than what Disney did with the actual movie. I'm sure that a lot of you guys have seen or come across the Force Ghost edit, quote-unquote, of The Rise of Skywalker. Multiple people actually did them, by the way. Very talented people. And it just goes to show you how lazy Disney was at the time. They couldn't even do that at the very minimum by giving us vague images of the Force Ghosts kind of raising their arms and helping Rey. Could have been something as simple as that, right? And that was their original plan. That was actually their original take on how this scene was going to flow, especially also with Anakin Skywalker. That was ultimately destroyed by Kathleen Kennedy, that was ultimately put to the wayside by Disney's higher-ups. Bob Iger at the time being the CEO, wanted to play it very safe still with the very ending of Episode 9. I think that obviously they felt afraid. But not only afraid, it doesn't seem that that was the only reason. It also came across like they always seem to believe in less is more concept. And yes, that works in some instances. Like, for example, you don't want to overuse Darth Vader. I get it. You don't want to overuse Yoda. I understand that. But when you have something that's so crucial to a scene that's going to develop and finalize the character of Rey, by using the Force Ghost, it would have been a pretty straightforward idea, common sense, to actually show the Force Ghost on screen to kind of give the fans exactly an idea of exactly who is talking. I know a lot of people that went to go ahead and see this movie, they really didn't know who was who. In fact, there was a lot of people, you guys might agree with me. When I went to go ahead and see it, at first, I had to second guess myself, was that Hayden? Was that Hayden? And it was. But it took me a little while to kind of catch on to who it was, especially the other voices out there. You know, I think that obviously, though they kept it very vague with the voices in the first place, this could have turned out to be such a better experience in the long run. Now, Daisy Ridley, she's being more open about her experience with Star Wars for a number of reasons. We've gone over this before in the past, and revealing more and more about The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. I think it just goes to show you that it's a similar scenario to what happened with Sam Raimi with Spider-Man 3. He didn't talk about that failure of a movie for a very long time, until years passed by, where he felt comfortable to actually pretty much admit his own failure and what was really going on with, you know, the higher-ups, you know, pretty much demanding him to do things. So overall, guys, you know, let me know what you think about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.